Broadcasting live, it's Cream Pie Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And now for your hosts, give it up for Josh and Rick.
Oh, yeah.
How you feeling, dude?
Feeling good for a Monday, man.
Yeah, Cream Pie Monday this week. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a rough week. It kind of felt like I was always stuck in second gear. You know, it just hasn't been my day, my week, my month, or even my year, but
Yeah, I just feel like I'm always behind in everything in life. So it's like, once I accomplish something, it's like, I should have done this a month ago. It's like, what the dude?
yeah. Those are friends' jokes. Chandler Bing died.
Oh, okay. Well, I was being genuine.
Yeah, Matthew Perry, man. You didn't watch Friends growing up?
No, I mean, I recognize who he was, but I know nothing about the guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the theme song. Always stuck in second gear. No?
I wouldn't have got that, man. Don't put me on Jeopardy. I would
Okay.
miss that one real hard.
Yeah, he's been in rough shape for a while compared to the other Friends cast. It is sad because I did grow up watching the show, you know, but he's been looking rough for a couple decades. The years were not kind to him.
Did he have cancer or something?
No, he drowned in his hot tub.
Yeah, but I thought he had like a heart attack or something.
No, they don't know. They just think he drowned in his hot tub. He was probably drunk or on drugs or something. He's had drug issues.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What a way to go, man.
I think.
Do you have a beverage? Oh, I should have grabbed a beer. What am I thinking, dude? God damn it.
Very homoerotically suck on the tip of this beer. Well, it's a night podcast. I figured I'd crack one. I just went to the gym and sweat my nuts off. Came back and chugged a protein / athletic green shake. It looked like baby shit and vomit. Tasted like the Satan's asshole itself. Sucked that down my gullet. Took an ice cold shower. I'm loaded with norepinephrine and fucking dopamine right now. Feeling pretty solid. Sucking on a little granddaddy's cough medicine. You know, it's a good night. You go grab a beer, man. It's a live pod. I'll do a monologue if you want. We got no rules. It's our podcast.
I'm good. I'm supposed to go to the gym after this. I probably shouldn't have like 4 Millers before I drive to Planet Fitness.
Oh, you're going to the gym after the pod. Okay.
Yeah, I just
you
get
don't
out of
wanna-
work, so.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, apparently his maid found him in a hot tub and she called 911 when he looked slightly more bloated than usual. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
sad. I mean, it sucks when anybody dies, but everybody dies, so it's not a big deal. I don't really care.
Everybody does die. That is true. And it's funny because when celebrities die, people like nobody gave a fuck until he died. I don't know. Like, you don't know the guy. Like 9,000 other people died in this country the same day. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was a celebrity. He was in Friends, and it is sad. But
I did see that Bruce Willis is no longer talking. He's fully mute from whatever he's got.
Yeah, that's got to blow. He's got some weird form of dementia. I forget what it's called, where like you just stop understanding language. You know?
Yeah. He's just
That's
lost the
heavy.
whole time.
It's gotta be scary. It's like in that Planet of the Apes, the third movie, when all the humans lose the ability to talk. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, classic trilogy. What a fucking great trilogy, Planet of the Apes. Love it.
Which ones? The old one or the new one?
No, the new trilogy, the one with Woody Harrelson's the last one.
Oh, I thought I saw those, but maybe I don't remember the key details on them.
Yeah, James Franco's in the first one. Woody Harrelson's in the last one. You know, Caesar.
Yeah.
Caesar. Yeah. But, yeah, the humans have like this disease from the apes, from the simian flu, and it causes them to lose their ability to speak. So they become like the apes in the third one.
That would blow.
It's got to be so scary to just not know how to communicate at all. Like, other than through emotion, you know? You just point at stuff and be like, oh!
Yeah, but you can't ever describe how you're feeling. So even if you look at something one way, it's not going to necessarily reflect how you look at the next thing. So it's
Right.
I assume it's just him sitting in a room a majority of the day, and people just kind of on their phones, kind of scrolling. There's not much to interact with, you know?
Oh, you mean like his caretakers? Yeah.
Yeah, or his kids or whoever's spending time with him, you know?
Yeah, it blows, man. Some Bruce Willis, some great movie. He was like he was a bartender before he was an actor in like Hollywood or something. And he was friends with actors that way, and that's how he got in the movie business. It's kind of cool.
I would consider him, if he's not on the Mount Rushmore for action movies, he's pretty freaking close. Maybe he's like the nose of one of them or something.
Yeah, who else would it be? It would be like Bruce Lee, Bruce Willis, two Bruces.
I don't even know if I'd put Bruce Lee in there because he was only in a couple movies up until he died. He died relatively young.
Good point. And then it was
Schwarzenegger for sure.
Yeah, okay. Like that realm. Okay, Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Probably Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis. I guess. Yep. It's a solid Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you just got to think whoever was in Expendables would be on that mountain.
Yeah, pretty much. But
between those three movies, they've gotten like every like somewhat famous action star in there at some point. Like Ronda Rousey was in one of the movies, like for whatever reason.
Yeah. Who was that other guy? Who was the black guy that played Apollo Creed? That was also in like Predator.
Giant George something.
I don't think so.
Oh, Waters.
Yeah, Corey Weathers. Is it Corey? Corey Weathers? Man, we sound like idiots.
I don't know, man. I gotta get a second phone just so I can look this shit up as we're talking about it.
We should have a Googler. We're never gonna have a Googler. It's still a makeshift podcast. After a year of production, we've still yet to Google something.
I mean, you think about it, if we had like a Siri in the room, we could just ask the Siri what's going on. They could fill us in, but that would be so lame.
Yeah, just us asking Siri questions for an hour. Yeah. Or Alexa or one of those. Yeah, that's the last thing we need. Fucking the FBI. We're already on the FBI's most wanted list for podcasters. Disruptors. Oh, sure. Sure. I'm expecting a fucking white van to roll up any day now. Talking about crazy shit.
I just ask you to stay off my lawn. You know, do whatever you need, but stay off the lawn. That's
just stay off the lawn. Yeah.
If you're gonna raid my house, just do it through the front door. Don't be freaking tearing up the back. Come on.
Crazy. Yeah.
Does the okay, you go.
Oh, Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign making a new album together. Sounds awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard some clips. Sounds really cool. He might be back. I think they're gonna forgive Kanye unless he calls it something crazy like Yamas or something.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. He would call it that too.
Well, they'll do a WE''MAS, but it'll come out on Christmas, so it'll be like Yamas, but it's Yamas.
Yeah. It'll work
That's
around.
Smart motherfucker. I read right through you, Kanye. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, don't.
I know you're watching.
Yeah. So what's up, man?
Does the I don't know how much you follow YouTube anything at all, but do you know the SsSniperWolf? Does this sound familiar?
No.
Okay. So she's one of these chicks. She's like on TikTok and Twitter and all this other bullshit and YouTube. And her big thing is like reaction videos, but a lot of it is just playing other people's material and then her just like barely doing anything. Like she's essentially stealing other people's efforts and is famous off of it, which is what a lot of people do.
Yep.
So this guy who had like 5 million YouTube subscribers made an additional channel where all he did was like call her out. So every single video that she would release, and she would release like one a day, he would like react to it and basically say this girl's garbage and is lazy and doesn't deserve to be on the pedestal she's on. And she's like a god in so many people's eyes. So there's a new term that I discovered. It's called doxing. It's
never heard of doxing?
I didn't know what that was. I'd never heard what that was until I heard about this, but she drove to his house and there was like live streaming out and like showed the front of his house and his address and everything to like 5 million people or whatever it was.
Super illegal too. You can't do that.
Yeah. So the guy came out with because the way I got aware of the whole situation was his reaction video to that, where he's like, I don't feel safe in my own home. My wife doesn't feel safe in my own home. You know,
it's pretty fucked up.
Like this chick should be demonetized. This chick should like lose her access to these accounts. Like, this is bad. And and YouTube kind of like slapped her on the wrist and they kind of demonetized her a little bit. But she was up until she got like the reaction from YouTube, she was still posting like the same shit and like still being like uppity. And then when she got called out, she puts out this big like, oh, everybody battles with mental health and sure. I'm just a person, you're a person, we're all people, we just need to live together and be in harmony. It's like, bitch, you got called out. And like, I found out she's going through like a divorce right now and like it's this big ugly legal battle. And it's just this chick that just basically went off her rocker, drove to this dude's house and made like the biggest mistake she could have done.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't dox people. It's fucked up. Over fucking reaction videos, it'd be funny. I thought you were going to keep going down the rabbit hole of like, she does reaction videos, he does reaction videos to her reaction videos, and then somebody else does a reaction video to his. You know what I mean? It would just keep going like reaction to reaction to reaction videos. And then by the time you get down the line, you forget what the original video even was.
I mean, that is a thing. I mean, there's definitely people reacting to those reaction videos. It's just the way it works, dude.
Yeah. Everybody's a star, man. You know? Yeah, it feels weird on a Monday. We normally do this on Sunday. I feel like we haven't, that extra day added all this extra time. I don't even know what we talked about since our last... Did we talk about Asheville at all?
Well, the last weekend was the Halloween Bonanza, the Cream Pie Spooktacular, dude.
That's right. Check it out if you haven't yet. Great episode.
Yeah, dude. I love doing the special episodes, like putting in like the little pictures in the middle and special sound effects and stuff. It's a lot of fun, Creamers. I hope you watch all the way through.
It's good. There's some good stuff in there. Definitely. Halloween's a great holiday. A little cosplay. I was going to do blackface, but, I didn't. All the Justin Trudeau costumes were sold out. But,
I was saying, dude, we'll do that for Thanksgiving. We'll be Indians with blackface and feathers just like poked in the back of our head. That's not offensive to anybody.
We'll have to do rock, paper, scissors on who gets to be the pilgrim and who has to be the Indian.
I don't know. If I'm being the pilgrim, I'm just going to wear suspenders for my wedding and just sit here with my gut hanging out.
Yeah.
Fat ass pilgrim.
Have a little fucking fake hatchet and one of those top hats with a belt buckle on it.
I'll just have a can of cranberry sauce and a turkey leg and just I won't say a word the whole episode. I'll just slowly devour this thing over 45 minutes.
I don't know if they had cranberry sauce in cans back then, but I do know that Thanksgiving is not what you think it is. It was really like a slaughter of Indians, and they used their heads as soccer balls to celebrate something crazy. Fucked up. They're not all sitting down, hanging out, having dinner together. That's not what really happened. No, unfortunately.
That would suck to be an Indian, and then like in the afterlife being told, like, yeah, your legend will live on. And then next, like you fast forward 400 years and it's like a first grade play with all these like Indians dancing around with the pilgrims. Like, these motherfuckers weren't even close. What's going on here?
You always wonder like how much of history is just like, because history is always told by the winners, Yeah. It's never told by the losers. So you wonder how much of it is bullshit.
I mean, even compared to like the shenanigans that was going on when we were in high school over a decade now. But there were textbooks in Texas that referred to slavery but never used the word slavery. So they would
right.
They
what
would
do they call
tiptoe.
it?
I don't even know. I'm not from Texas. But I remember Mr. Denzo telling us, he's like, here's a news article. And they're just I mean, everything changes over the years, Even compared to 100 years ago, what like the stories that we hear now are like totally different.
Yeah. I don't want them to go too far in the wrong direction either, Like they shouldn't be teaching manifest destiny. Well, they should, but like from this perspective of what they thought, but they shouldn't be teaching like all this. They shouldn't be glorifying the troubled past, but they also shouldn't, you shouldn't go to school and be taught that America is essentially evil either. I don't like that either. You know what I mean? First of all, slavery is a Western problem. It's a worldwide problem. It still exists now in certain countries. But don't act like people from Great Britain always give people from America shit about like the slave trade, but they never mention like they started it. You know, like we got them from you, you fuck. You know, so it's not just America. It's a problem. You know, it was. I'm not downplaying it. It's horrible, but there's a lot of good about America too that they should teach. That's all.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you go back to world history, like Mesopotamia all the way up till now, and it's basically open up a textbook. Everything you're going to read is, all right, from this date to this date, there was a war between these two people, or there's three clans or whatever, and it's just that's how time is determined, is by how long people were trying to kill each other, and we're still doing it.
I mean, I think at the beginning of this year, I read Arabian Nights.
I thought you were going to say the Quran.
No, Arabian Nights, classic, translated obviously, but it's a really long book, and it's a bunch of stories, frame stories, stories within stories. It's like that's where Aladdin came from. He was in there first, you know? The old Aladdin story is one of them. But slavery was so commonplace and so normal that every story they just, oh yeah, that's the slave boy. Like, you know, like every story has slaves in it, but they're not talking about it like in a derogatory way. They're just mentioning like as a fact, like, yeah, this is my slave, you know, and he's just a part of the story. But they're not like talking about the suffering of slaves or anything. It's just part of normal life is having slaves. Like it's so normal.
It was the norm, yeah.
It's just so strange. And it had nothing to do with race either. It was just like, you could have a slave that's the same race as you, and ethnicity had nothing to do with it. Just certain people are slaves and certain people weren't. So strange, you know?
Yeah.
So odd.
It's just part of the human condition, man. We feel the need to dominate other people to the point that we are theirs.
Yeah. Slavery's fucked. We're going out. We're gonna go and be progressive here, and we're taking a stance. The Cream Pie Sundae boys say that slavery is bad.
We are anti-slavery 100%. We don't mess around. We may joke about it, but it's to bring awareness and contributions to those being enslaved.
Bingo. Anti-slave here at CPS. Anti-slave. Yeah. Oh man, my fucking legs. I did lunges today. I haven't done lunges in a few weeks because I've been going to the gym, but just one exercise I haven't done, and man, you skip a couple of weeks from lunges and you do them again, you're fucked. It's like one of the exercises you can't skip. You gotta start all over from scratch. Just fucks up your legs.
I know back in the day when I was like heavy and doing legs, like actually doing squats, actually doing, you know, quads and all that crap. Yeah. When I started doing lunges, it's like a different freaking animal, dude. It's like,
yeah, oh yeah.
Like I used to do it down and back the basketball court in Concord, and I'd get back and I'd be like, I'd like stagger. I felt like I had pencil legs. I'd freaking almost fall. I'd always sit down in between sets because I could barely contain my shit.
Yeah, and then you can't walk down the stairs for a week. Fucking sucks. Yeah, I'll be dealing with that tomorrow.
Jelly. Yeah.
Just the pain. Walking all bow-legged and shit. Dude, I listened to an interesting podcast this past week. Theo Vaughn. He's got a good podcast, and he interviewed a New York City garbage man. Just a guy that just retired. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. And he talked through the whole process. Apparently, it's a great job to be a New York City garbage man because you're a city worker. So after 20 years, you get a pension. You get to retire. So he's 41 years old, retired, has free health care for him and his family the rest of his life. And he got paid like $85,000 a year before overtime to be a garbage man.
That's not a bad gig at all, dude.
It's amazing. Like I had no idea these guys are like making so much money. Apparently you have to like apply to take a test, and they only let so many people take the test and become garbage men. Like you'll pass the test and they'll call you like 10 months later, hey, there's an opening. Do you want the job? Because it's like such a sought after city job. Yeah. And he was going into all these details about how like the garbage process works in the city. It was super interesting. Here's a fact. So they have the landfill, right? Where they bring most of the garbage, like right outside of New York City. And they have a problem with like animals running through the landfill, like deer and stuff. So the city pays, this is the craziest thing. The city pays a guy
Sorry.
It's all right. The city pays a guy. Jesus Christ, you okay? You dying?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I got a frog in my throat.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying was, so the city pays a guy to camp on the landfill and live there, and they give him a sniper rifle, and he shoots sleep darts at deer when they're in the landfill, and then runs over to them, and while they're passed out, he spays and neuters them, so they can't have more kids. That's his job, and he gets paid to like live in a tent on the landfill for the government and basically castrate deer.
So he doesn't like reposition the deer outside of the landfill. He just like shoots them and cuts their nuts off.
Basically, so they can have kids to control the population.
Why don't they put up a fence, and why don't they put the deer on the outside of the fence?
It's just remarkable that that job exists. You know what I mean? And he's a government worker. He gets paid to live in a tent on the fucking on Trash Mountain and shoot deer. So strange.
He's like Ray from Trailer Park Boys, just living at the dump, dude.
You know, the dump ain't that bad. Yeah.
Dump bees, the crows, the goddamn crows. Yep.
Could you imagine what that guy must be like? The garbage, the landfill deer shooter guy. A crazy job. You know?
That's just that's got to be so stinky. He must just stink permanently. You do that job for like a month straight, and you can never take enough showers to get that stink off you, dude. That's got to be nasty.
It's like when you live next to a cow farm and you get used to the smell of cow shit and you don't notice it anymore, or it doesn't bother you. But if you're not from around there, you drive through and you're like, Jesus Christ, it fucking reeks. It's got to be like that for all smells. Like you just get used to a smell. It's definitely not a smell that you want to be used to, then not notice. It's trash.
Yeah.
You know? And the other thing that's weird about trash, no matter what it is, it always smells like trash. You notice that? Like garbage has a distinct smell regardless of what's in the dumpster. It always smells like a dumpster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because even the trash that I get rid of that's in the garage all week, and then I'll bring it, it smells just like the trash that's been sitting in the kitchen. So, yeah, it's pretty stinky.
It's weird. I wonder what that is, why it all smells like that.
I saw a video of, was it in New York? It was in some, or maybe Baltimore. I don't remember. It was some like major city. But
Baltimore.
Essentially, there was an Asian lady who they didn't show on camera, probably rightfully so. But she had 3 vans, like just regular minivans, filled to the brim with trash, and then like on top, like no shit, like 8 feet high of trash, just all like webbed together with like ratchet straps and twine and fishing line, and it's just these 3 vans that are just overflown with trash, and like the neighbors hate it, and they're trying to get rid of it, and I guess somebody comes by and lights them on fire every so often. And then she buys a new van and fills that full of trash. And it was
Jesus.
yeah, when we showed up to do the story, there was 2 vans. And apparently she drove the third one to work. We hung around till she got home. She refused to interview with us. It's like, yeah, what do you expect, dude? This lady's like mentally unstable. She's like saving all her shit. Like, I don't know.
Hoarding.
But it's, yeah.
You ever watch that show, Hoarders? You ever watch that? Hoarders?
Yeah, I've seen highlights and bits and pieces. My parents' house ain't it. I wouldn't call it a hoarder's house, but it's pretty close. So I know what it's like. That's the way I grew up, dude.
Yeah.
My house is
Just
like that.
Shit everywhere.
That's why I try to like. That's why I have an issue with clutter and like coming home and stuff being on the kitchen table just like grinds my gears, and it's like
just get rid of it.
Even this weekend, I went to my parents' house and I did like an interview with my mom. It was just me talking to her about how she had breast cancer 20 years ago.
Jeez.
And so I showed up, and I was going to do it in the game room, but the game room was like a mess. So I had to literally clean the game room, set up my lights, set up the audio equipment, do everything.
Yeah.
But it's like I went there to film something and I couldn't even like walk in the room. I had to like fucking clean the whole thing just to do it, dude. So now they have a game room that they can go in and enjoy because of me.
My parents' house is like that a little bit too. Not that crazy, but there are members of my family, they just save fucking everything. I hate it. I throw everything away. I got nothing to my name. I could fit everything I own in my trunk. Like, you know.
Yeah, I've accumulated a lot of like video games and just like film equipment and shit. But beyond that, I pretty much need like a week's worth of clothes, one pair of jeans, my laptop, and a pair of headphones.
good.
It's like that's all I need.
It's pretty much all I got. Even my desktop isn't that big. I could fit everything I own. Like seriously, like in half my trunk.
If I wasn't married and if I had nothing else going on, I don't see why I wouldn't be just one of those guys that just like lived in a van and then drove around and.
Oh, I always think about that. I always think about
know?
like, if I go that broke and it's that bad, I probably could even still keep my job and just get a PO box for mail and literally like live in a van and they wouldn't know. I'd find a way to shower or clean myself. It wouldn't be ideal, but dude, it's possible.
I've looked into it, dude.
You know?
I mean, people. That's why you have a Planet Fitness membership. You go there, you can shower,
Yeah.
do whatever. You know, you can work out. I mean, other than power. I mean, if you have one of these vans with a solar panel up top and it's keeping your irrigation system in check and all the power in check, and if your fuel is based off of electricity, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you just need food. It's not that bad.
And you can
Mini
still
fridge,
buy a
little
mini
shower.
fridge and buy food like you normally do.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of videos where people like transform U-Hauls and school buses and all that kind of shit. And it's like,
Into apartments,
I don't
yeah.
have the technical skill to do that kind of crap, but I would love to at least know somebody that did that.
The problem is taking a shit. I don't want to have to take a shit at Arby's every day. Every time I got to take a shit, I got to drive my house to Arby's. You know what I mean? That kind of sucks. You know, unless
You
you
have
live
to
near
ask-
the woods or something. I don't know.
You have to ask the same black lady for the key to go to the bathroom. Like, here you go, honey. I see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go blow up your bathroom and then get me three orders of number 7. That's what my dinner is for the next 16 hours.
Yeah.
You're just cycling through Arby's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because you're eating at the place that you're shitting at. So you're just shitting roast beef sandwiches into their toilet, essentially.
What do you do with your time? Like, well, I spend a lot of time at Arby's. I don't even know why. I don't even have the Wi-Fi password. I just spend a lot of time there.
I just go there to shit and rinse off in the sink and eat roast beef. Spend 4 hours a day at Arby's.
I bring my own washcloth so I can dry my hands because they only have the blow dryers in there, and those are disgusting.
Oh yeah, those are nasty. They smell like piss. Just piss air blowing all over your fucking hands.
I got a thing with germs, dude. I don't know what. Maybe it was COVID or maybe just in general, but like, if I have to use a blow dryer at a bathroom, I'll just like wipe my hands on my pants. It's like I don't even do it, dude.
I don't even fuck with those at all, dude. When I see people with those like blow dryers, dude, it's literally just like shit and piss air. Unfiltered, just blasting on. You just washed your hands, now they're dirtier after the blow dryer thing.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
It's like all like the little things. I got like little thing of hand sanitizer in my car, so when I pump gas, I put hand sanitizer on.
Yeah,
But I was with Emily's mom. We went to go get beer before the wedding, and we went to a gas station. And I pumped the gas, and I asked her, I'm like, Christine, do you have any hand sanitizer? And she doesn't say anything. And in my mind, I just saw the subtitle, pussy.
yeah.
Like, you don't need to say hand sanitizer, but I asked, and it took her like 5 seconds to respond. She's like, no. So I ended up wiping my hands with like glass cleaning wipes or something. I don't know, but it was
right.
I got a thing with it. I don't know what it is, dude. It's weird.
Windex sanitizes to an extent, right? I mean, it's not like hand sanitizer, but it does something. But I do the same thing. I mean, I'm not that crazy. Like, if I have hand sanitizer, I'll definitely use it after I pump gas. But then sometimes I don't. And then the problem is you think about it. You're like thinking about your hand and you're like, don't touch your face with this hand, you know? And it's like, you can't wait to wash it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like OCD. It's not like an issue, but you definitely consider the germs.
You're aware of it because it's the same thing with the steering wheel. Guaranteed our steering wheels are disgusting. I mean, I think I detailed my car in March. Since then, I have not had a wipe in there at all. My car is just accumulating dust and dirt. That's like all it is.
That's what they do. Well, every time I sanitize my hands in the car, I run it across the steering wheel too. Get a little hand sanitizer on that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good technique.
While they're still damp, I do one of these jerking motions. Get that wheel sanitized, baby.
Okay. I see you.
You
Good idea.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I was bartending this weekend, right? And this drunk lady comes in, clearly hammered, and she looks at me. She said, "What, are you training or something?" I'm like, "No, I'm not training. I'm just working." "Oh, well, how old are you? Like 24? I was like, "No, I wish." "What are you, 26? I'm like, "No, I'm 30, but I don't know, man. I hate when people do that. I think it's rude. I don't think you ask people's ages. It's not as big of a deal for a guy, but the way that when people ask you how old you are, and it's derogatory, like, "Are you even old enough to serve me?" Like, bitch, I've been bartending for 10 years. Yeah, I can make a fucking vodka soda. You know, like, settle down. You know, but
Was she trying to slip her fax number in your pocket or something?
no, I think she was just being a drunk bitch. I don't know. I think it's offensive though. Like, you don't even know my name. Like, don't ask a stranger how old they are. You know? Because it's either like, what do you think, I'm too young? What do you think, I'm too old? Like, what are you trying to get at here? Why does it matter?
It's
I'm
a weird
an
thing
adult.
to lead with too. You know, like, I wouldn't be getting groceries and be like, "How old are you?" Like, without
Yeah.
asking anything. Like, that's just rude, dude.
It is. It is. And you could clearly tell I'm an adult. So why does it matter? Doesn't matter how old I am. I don't know. Bothers me.
But
Yeah, a lot of-
everyone younger than us is 12. That's just the way it works.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to Gen Z. But they are fucked. I don't know if it's the fucking fluoride in the water or the fucking TikTok, but them bastards all look like they're 10 years old.
Dude, I was at Hannaford's getting dog food, and they must have been brother and sister because they looked identical. I'm going to assume here, not supposed to assume. I assume one was a female, one was a male. Just throwing that out there.
Yep.
They both had colored hair, very unnormal hair, like shaved one side, gauges, all this bullshit. They must have been in high school. One kid's like on his phone and he's like giggling high pitched. Like, I'm not going to make the noise because I don't think I can. But like, he's giggling on his phone and I see this like chick and I was just like, this is who we're leaving the country to, dude. What are we doing? This is
So
weird.
wild.
It's just like,
I know.
it's like if I
I
were
know.
to walk through a high school, I would just be like so out of my like element and I'd just be like, what the fuck happened, dude?
It's weird, but then you look back at pictures of yourself and realize that you were a little bit of a ding dong back then too. Just not as bad as these kids. But, you know, we went to high school with kids that looked like weird, they even had gauges when we were in high school. That was a thing. You know, like there was a hot topic weirdos and stuff. But
Well, that was back when they were like the outcasts, and now that's the norm.
yeah,
you
good
know?
point. Good point.
Like
It is
like
a
how
lot more
many
standard.
kids do you think will make it to 18 that didn't dye their hair at one point?
It is weird. I never got the dyed hair thing. I always thought it looked trashy, like unnatural colors. For whatever, like if your hair's green, I think it's gross. It's like that homemade trailer park dye job that you buy, like goofy purple hair. I never got it. It doesn't look good to me. It just doesn't.
Do it for Halloween. That's about it.
Yeah, you look like a clown. What are you doing?
I
Whatever, man.
never once contemplated dyeing my hair, just because I'm assuming you can dye red hair, but I don't know. What's the point? Like, would I dye it brown? If I dyed my hair black, how fucking pale I was, I would have looked like the most emo dude in the world in high school with like the hair over my eyes and shit. I would have looked like an emo sensation.
You would look like a vampire. Fucking
Yeah.
Edward.
Black on black, those black pants that are like way too big at the bottom, the big wallet chain, the Vans,
The wallet chain,
the jackass Vans.
Oh man, I used to rock K-Swiss for a couple of years back then. That was my shit. Got the fucking all white K-Swiss. What happened to K-Swiss? Do they still exist? Are they still a thing?
I have no idea. I haven't seen a new pair of K-Swiss in a long time.
Like 10 years. I don't know what happened to them. Yeah, DC was big. The DC shoes, remember? And Vans and like skateboard shoes were like a thing for a while.
The DC shoes and like the Osiris shoes.
Yeah.
The DC shoes were weird because the tongue was like 4 inches thick. And it would just like take up the whole front half of your foot. And it was like you're walking around in slippers. It was, I don't know. I remember a lot of kids in middle school wore those. And like we'd be in gym class and they'd go to kick the ball and their shoe would fly up and hit the ceiling. It's like, what are we doing here? Tennis shoes.
You could, if you just look at my feet, I could tell you how old I was based on what I was wearing for shoes. Pretty much. Because middle school was like, I had no idea. I was wearing like New Balance running shoes. I was a fucking dork, you know? And then I wore Vans for a couple years, and then I wore the DCs, then the K-Swiss, and then I went back to like nice running shoes for a couple years. And then I was a boat shoes guy for like 5 years.
Yeah.
I wore Sperry's throughout my late teens, early 20s. Now I'm a Converse guy. I just wear like shitty Converse, you know?
I pretty much wore tennis shoes, and then once I got into wearing basketball shoes, that's all I've ever worn ever since. So since probably freshman year of high school, now all my shoes are basketball shoes or running shoes.
Yep.
I've got like one pair of Sperry's and one pair of like moccasins or whatever they are. But yeah, no, I'm the 30-year-old walking around with the zigzag shoes or whatever. They look sick, but like I don't know if somebody my age should be wearing them, but I bought them, so fuck you.
Yeah, they light up as you step and shit.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking sick.
I got the Buzz Lightyears.
You squeeze the tongue to infinity and beyond. Yeah, dude, they're dope.
It sounds so cool, dude. I feel a strong boat shoe phase coming up around for me, full circle. I feel like I'm gonna go back to the boat shoes at some point.
I have no idea what's in anymore, because even I showed up to a bachelor party this year and I was wearing cargo shorts, and one of my roommates from college, it was Chuck, he goes, Chuck, he's like, Rick, you think cargo shorts is so cool? I'm like, I don't know, dude. They're like, I'm either wearing jeans or I'm wearing cargo shorts. Like, I don't know,
right
dude.
There with you.
I have no idea.
I'm right there with you, buddy. That's all I got too, but they're not cool anymore. Yeah, and the shorts can't be like, you know how it was uncool to have shorter shorts when we were in high school? Like if you had short shorts, you were like gay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but they had to be past your knee. It was a thing. You had to have the shorts up down to the knee or past the knee. Now you look weird like that. Like all these kids are wearing like the average short length is like decreased by 50%.
It's like mid-thigh.
Yeah, it's mid-thigh for all of them.
Which is fine. It's just that's not the way I ever wore shorts. I remember playing high school basketball and the uniforms were so fucking old that when you put them on, they were above mid-thigh. So we would wear like the Under Armour like compression shorts underneath. But it looked so stupid. I would have this go down to my knees, black, and then 8 inches, and then little booty shorts, playing JV basketball. I'm like, what? Who wins in this fucking battle here? This is stupid, dude.
You know what it was? I think it was Michael Jordan, because he had his shorts extra long, and like it created the whole long short phase. Because every basketball player prior to that had short shorts. Now they all have like knee length shorts in the NBA. You notice that?
Well, people
if you look
probably
at like Larry Bird shorts versus Michael Jordan shorts. Do you know what I mean?
But you think about it, even back in the day, I bet the first guy to wear long shorts probably got fined for it. That was probably against like the team uniform.
I don't know. I think it was MJ. I do. I think he's the guy that started it.
I mean, MJ got fined game after game for wearing his own Air Jordans because they weren't endorsed by the league. So he would loot. He would still make money every game, but he would have to chip out $5,000 a game because he's wearing the wrong shoes.
You know, it's amazing though, the amount of money he must have made, like
doing
totally counteracted it, because so many more people probably bought his shoes. Remember people were pissed at him where they're asking him to comment on a guy that was running for either governor or mayor somewhere who was running Republican, and they wanted him to talk shit about the guy. And they asked him in an interview, like, why won't you say anything about this guy? He's like, well, because Republicans buy shoes too. And then everyone was like, oh shit, like, like this asshole. But he's right. I mean, business-wise, what are you going to lose half of the people that are going to buy your shoes just because you want to take a political stand? Nowadays, it's so gross. Every athlete has to take a political stance on everything, and it's always progressive, of course. You know what I mean? Sometimes a little too progressive if you ask me, but it's just annoying now that politics is literally in fucking, it's soccer, dude. We don't give a fuck about who you voted for, you know, like, everything.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild to me. Like, we don't give a fuck. It's crazy. Like, go on Twitter. Like, we don't need to know the Miami Heat's stance on what's happening in Israel. You know what I mean? But everybody has to make a statement now every time anything happens.
It is crazy that the only material that I saw, because I didn't look up any of the stuff on the news, but it's people that I follow on Instagram.
Of course you did
skits. No, I didn't. I don't care. I really don't care.
I know.
I'm an asshole, but whatever, dude. I mean, I got my own life to handle, dude. I don't need to know every freaking tragedy around the world. I mean,
no, I get it. I get it.
I was aware of the Maine shooter. I know how he died, and I know all the details about that. But that's all because that was like 2 hours from here. You know, like it was kind of like one of those things. You know,
that is crazy. That whole thing. Yeah, I would even touch that's scary because you never see it happen. By the way, I'm itching my nose because the cold shower's got my whole fucking face itchy as shit, dude. My ears itching. I feel like I'm scratching my nose this whole podcast, but it just itches. Yeah, that is sad, man. You know, it's you never hear that shit happening in like New England, you know?
Yeah, because it was especially the way it went down, like the timeline, because he went from like the bowling alley, or no, a bar to a bowling alley, and then he basically from there he ran to you know how my dad used to work at Schnitzer Steel, the scrapyard? Yeah. Maybe you don't know that. But it was basically like one of those that he used to work at. So he broke in, and then there was like a bunch of cars there, and he basically hid in one of the cars. And the cops or whatever went by and did a sweep, but they didn't open up any of the cars, and he was there. So what it was is days later, the owner of the shop refused to go and look in these cars because he's like, how do I know that he's not in there and going to shoot me as soon as I open up the door? So the police had to go through and look through these cars. And then they discovered the guy that shot himself in one of those vehicles. But they could have found him that night instead of this, I don't even know how many days fiasco of looking for him. But
yeah.
You think about it. If you don't find that dude in the first 2 hours, he could be fucking anywhere.
Literally,
that's just the way it works.
He could steal a car and drive 4 states away. You don't fucking know. Like, he could be literally anywhere.
And everybody's thinking about it too. It's like, all right, so what happens when Halloween comes and there's people in the streets and all this shit? You know, is he gonna step up and do something? Because I was thinking about this too. Imagine, you know, this guy was mentally ill or whatever. That's not an excuse to do whatever he did. He did awful things. But imagine, he's like he hits like 3 or 4 spots in like every couple days, like he's doing a shooting or something, and then he's sitting on a bridge and he ties cinder blocks to his feet, caps himself, and he's on the bottom of the river. Yeah, he's at large indefinitely until they find his body. Or he could hide his body so people are always on high alert, you know? But I'm just thinking about like these, it's so crazy because this happens like almost daily in the United States and probably daily around the world, but it's like,
I don't know. I don't know how to solve it. I don't know the answers, obviously. It is weird that every fucking time this shit happens that you find out that the FBI was aware of this guy, or like he had said he had been in a mental institution for 2 weeks this summer.
This year, yeah.
Saying that he's hearing voices telling him to shoot up a base. And it's like, and then the guy they let him go. And I think the guns that I don't know, I could be wrong about this. I'm pretty sure the guns he got illegally somehow that he did this with. So I don't want to take one side. I'm not going to get political here. I don't know. Are gun laws the answer if he got them illegally anyways? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like,
well, I don't remember exactly what it was called, but there's like a yellow tape law or something in Maine where red flag law, whatever it was. But he should have had his weapons taken from him.
Right.
That's a gap, you know? Mm-hmm. That's what happens.
Yeah. It sucks because
it was avoidable.
It
really was. It was.
Yeah. The whole thing is, like I said, I don't want to get political about it because, you know, it's a tragedy. It blows. And I don't know what the answer is, but something has to happen. Mentally ill people that are threatening to kill people should, without a doubt, not have access to firearms. I think we can all agree on that. I mean,
I would completely agree to that, dude. Yeah.
That's completely common ground for everybody. Now, how do we do that? What's the answer to make sure that doesn't happen? And now we can talk about that. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
I mean, the problem is by this point, you can't just take them away because it's like, oh, you're going to take millions of guns from millions of people. It's like, that's not going to happen.
No. You can't. The problem is not good guys with guns. You can't you can't take away people's rights to own guns. You got to find a way to make sure that people that shouldn't have guns don't have access to them. There's more guns. Oh, sorry. There's more guns than people in this country.
Yeah.
So
no, I was gonna say this isn't funny, but like I was talking about this with my dad this weekend, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe I should start carrying my gun around with me on my hip." I'm like, as long as you be responsible with it, dude. I mean, because he even said the whole thing, and I think he was being cheeky about it, but he's like, "Well, somebody needs to be a hero." I'm like, "Yeah, you'd hope that somebody was at that bowling alley,
for real,
come out from the bathroom and just cap them, and boom, just like that, 18 people dead turns to 5. You know."
Yep. That is one. I mean, that's happened in Texas plenty of times. Mass shooters that get fucking capped by somebody that's carrying. It happens often.
Immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. And it sucks. Like 2 people die, but it's better than 20.
It was maybe this is made. I might be making this whole story up, but it was something about one of these religious extremists was bashing America and basically talking shit and just trying to be confrontational. And somebody told him to go down to Texas and do it. And basically he got called out by a bunch of Texans and almost got shot because he was being a dumbass. It's like, what you can get away with in Brattleboro, Vermont does not fly in Austin, Texas, dude. Like, no way.
No. Yeah, don't fuck around. Don't mess with Texas, they say. They're not wrong.
Or you can go to Chicago. They got more, it's easier to find a gun than it is to find a fucking parking spot, as Chance the Rapper would say.
Well, that's why they say, like, Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the country. And, like, they call it Chirac. It doesn't. Yeah. So what are we correlating gun laws with safety? Because even if you look at Washington, D.C., it's not even legal to own a handgun in D.C. So many handgun, it's wild. Handgun crime is huge in D.C.
Obviously, the name Chirac is like a take at Iraq, but like Chirac, I think that's a baller name, but it's not a good reference for a city in the United States. So, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was a depressing 10 minutes, Screamers. Sorry about that, man, we're going to carve some pumpkins tonight. This will be coming out next week, but, we're always a week behind, Creamers. We do this a few days in advance. Hallows Eve is tomorrow, even though we had the Halloween episode that came out Sunday, but I don't know. I might just carve
It's supposed to be a full moon tomorrow, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
It's kind of bananas that it's a full moon on Halloween and Friday the 13th was in October. Like, I feel like that almost happens every year now. I feel like every year it comes and goes and it's like, how does that work out perfectly, dude?
It's a weird coinky dink, man.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta go, you wanna buy tickets to the Creed cruise? You gonna go on the Creed cruise with me?
Not the Creed cruise, but Jimbo sent me a screenshot. They're coming to Bank, New Hampshire Pavilion in some point next year. And I told him 110% I will be there. Buy tickets now.
Yeah. Honestly, it would be a pretty fun show, even though, but the corniness is what makes it fun. It's like when I saw the Backstreet Boys with Lita last year, it was fun.
Yeah.
Just got to know what it is, You're not going out there to like rock out.
It'll be like Creed, and then the first band will be like Crazy Town or something, and then the second band will be I don't know who's like another awful band that never got big.
Nickelback. Well, they were big. I think Creed is like the Nickelback of the '90s.
Yeah,
they're both kind of similar. People make fun of them. They have hits, but they're a little bit corny.
Even Incubus got big, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping they have a couple good like bands leading up to them because that'd be pretty cool, like little show. But I think it's like on a Tuesday. But I'm taking that day off, dude. Let's go.
Fucking
Scott
Metallica opens for Creed. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck kind of topsy-turvy shit is this? Yeah. With arms wide open. Yeah. Yeah, we were in Asheville this past week. I was going to talk about this in the beginning, but you've been to Asheville, right? For somebody's bachelor party, North Carolina?
Yeah, Chuck's. Yep.
Oh, Chuck's. There you go. Yeah, beautiful time of year, dude. The leaves and everything. And Asheville's got some kick-ass cuisine, man. Just like me and Lita just spent 2 days just bouncing around, just going from one bar to the next, like 5 bars in a row, just have one drink and try some food, move on. It was awesome. 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
It's fucking fantastic. You know, we had these crazy drinks. She had a drink that was like, had pho broth in it. It was like a hangover cure drink. It had rum and pho broth, like beef, like bone broth.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's fucking dope. It was so cool. And then we drove through the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is like this highway that takes you up like 5,000 feet. It's like it's kind of like the Kangamangas in New Hampshire. Like it's this scenic drive.
Yeah.
And it was dope. You could see for like hundreds of miles, just fucking all the leaves are orange and shit. Super cool. Dope trip.
Yeah, it was
Love
nice this last couple days. It was like 77 on Friday, so I took the bike to work, and it was just beautiful. And then today it's like 40 and raining, and it was supposed to snow, and now it's not. So it's just supposed to have somebody come by and replace a back screen door on Thursday. So I'm hoping it doesn't freeze my. I'm gonna have to turn the heat on after that. Emily didn't let me. That's why I'm wearing the hat this whole fucking episode. It's so cold in my house, dude. It's like 58 degrees. It's like, all right, here we go.
It was like 85 down here today. So sunny and nice. It was like a summer day. So nice.
Emily just got it in her head of we won't turn it on until November. And I walked by and it said 59. I'm like, it's not gonna get any warmer than this tonight, right? Yeah, well, I know. It's like, okay, I'm cold.
Just set it on if you want to save money, just set it on 60 so it doesn't get below 60 or something. Yeah. You know? Like you don't want to wake up and it's 42 in the house. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I'll throw on sweats. I'm gonna go to the gym, but as soon as I hop out of the shower, I'm throwing on sweatpants and sweatshirt and I'll be bundled up. I usually go to sleep all bundled up with the hat and shit too, so I'm like super warm when I sleep. Oh
man. I remember like trying to save money on heat a few years and just doing that. Just walking around like, all right, guys, listen. You motherfuckers, I'm not spending $2,000 on heat this winter, personally.
Yeah.
So we're going to set it on 62. Just wear a fucking sweatshirt in the house, please. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, those apartments, just wearing a sweatshirt and a hat and walking around, fucking. And then, of course, I have shitty roommates that don't pay the heat bill and don't tell me. And then we run out of fucking propane. And then you wake up and you can see your breath and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then, of course, heating oil is the same as the heating is diesel.
Yeah.
So they just one has a dye in it, the other one doesn't, but it's the same exact thing. So you just go to the gas station and fill up a couple fucking tanks of diesel fuel, and then you're dumping them into your heating tank so you could fucking not freeze your nuts off for 2 days. Fucking crazy.
Dude, earlier this year when there was that giant snowstorm, I think we must have done the podcast because, we've been doing it all year, but that's when I'd sleep in the living room and I was under like 5 blankets and I could see my breath and I had to go to work in the morning and I was like, dude, this is fucking awful. This sucks, dude.
What's kind of cool about doing the podcast once a week, every week for an entire year is the amount of shit we've talked about. What's this, 46?
This is 45.
45. So there's 45 hours of us talking like week to week. So if you ever like are interested, like go back and listen to an early pod from like any week. You can listen to us talk for an hour any week of the entire year. It's pretty cool. Like what the fuck was going on in my life the second week of March? I have no idea right now. I couldn't tell you, but I can literally go back and find out. And and then I'll be talking about something that happened that I completely forgot about. But now there's like, it's cool. It's like, even if nobody listens, like we get to talk for an hour a week, and we have some people that are listeners. So we thank you guys. But it is kind of cool to just like document an entire, I've never done that. I'm so bad at documenting my life. I always forget, like the time passes and I have no record of anything.
Well, there's just like gradual progress because the first 19 weeks was all audio. So episodes 1 through 5 was me trying to figure out the levels and using a cord that was busted, and I would dip out for 3 minutes and I'd come back in. And then like even the first video, it got to be the point where it was like 2 weeks before we're going to do that, number 18. And we're like, all right, number 20, we're going for it. And then it was like morning of, it's like, dude, I'm not ready either. It's like, just press record, we'll figure it out. Because doing that, we were able to, all right, 21 is a little bit better. 22 is so much better. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're still on the come up, but last week's episode, I'm tooting my own horn. I think audio, that intro, it was like the coolest intro. The only thing is I fucked up because what I should have done is deleted the first 30 seconds because it's the welcome to Cream Pie Sunday, just the regular stuff, and then it goes into welcome to Cream Pie Sunday. I should have had just the Halloween shit. But it was one of those, I didn't realize it till after it was like already posted, and I like went to watch it, and I'm like, I have the intro twice. Like I should have just done the one intro. But it's like, even by the year's end, I mean, I think every episode we get better. I mean, video editing wise, content wise, I think the audio effects that you put in there, even when we have like little hiccups and shit, like you're good at like cutting it up, and I think we're getting there, dude. I think we got a good thing going. I'm tooting our own horns. I'm tooting our horns. You know, it's fun. It's fun to do.
Shoot my horn, daddy.
Because the thing is even I get real down on myself about not accomplishing as much as I think I should. But even if I look back on this year, and if I put out no other YouTube videos, which I've put out a lot this year, but if I look back and think about it, it's like this fucking podcast will have like 350 videos by the end of the year. Like that's bananas, dude.
That is a lot of videos for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, we're at like 230 right now, so we're not going to hit 350, but like we're
close. We'll be over 300. Because you do 5 a week, including the podcast. It's 5 or 6 a week, right?
Well, 8 a week, so 7 promos in the one, so it's week 45. So 8 more weeks, 8 times 8, 64. So we'll be at about 300. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of like every weekend. It's even Emily kind of like, because we're talking about like starting a family and doing all this and that, and she's like, so you're gonna do the podcast forever? Like, are you gonna do videos forever? And I didn't really respond. I'm like, well, this is what I want to do. You know, like I don't do it to be famous. Like I do it because I enjoy doing it. I like making videos. I like making music. I like doing the podcast with you. This is an excuse for me to talk to you on a weekly basis. You know,
well, dude, everybody has like hobbies and shit. You know, you gotta do it. You can always make time. You know, there's always time to spend a couple hours a week doing what you like. And the podcast, we've gotten so good at it. Like with my edit, like I can. It takes me like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy, you know? So.
Yeah. My editing has gone from, I think the first video podcast took me like 15 hours that week just to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And now it's like, I can get the whole thing done in like 4 hours.
Yeah. It's not bad.
It's fast, dude. And half of that is just watching through it to make sure I don't say anything too stupid.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If we don't,
I could watch it fast forward if I wanted to.
Oh, if we didn't care about any of that, if I didn't edit the swears or if I didn't go through it and do all that, if we just like posted and didn't care, it would take me an hour and a half. Probably take you like 2 hours.
I'm trying to think the laziest way we could do this is if you had your camera and just use your camera audio and I just use my camera and my camera audio and then split the screen in half and put it side by side. I could have this video done and it would only take as long as it takes to export. Like it would take me
pretty much
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah, but that extra couple
color
hours.
No color correction, no levels, no nothing, no effects, just right to it.
Well, that's why ours is better though. You know?
Yeah. We can't.
But little inside baseball for the last portion, creamers. You know? Little nice little episode. What do you think, Rick? Want to tie a sweet little bow on that? We didn't get too goofy or funny this week. Had a good real conversation. Solid hour. Some hot topics. You know? So
it's good.
Yeah. Good. And we'll be back in a week.
Well, creamers, you are all individual, unique little snowflakes. And just like that, every ounce of cream is different from every other ounce of cream. So just remember that. Okay.
Absolutely. Stay creamy.